It's Pete Toll, a.k.a. PTsports84, back with another NBA 2K23 video for everybody. Happy July 4th. Had a little bit of a break from doing stuff with the family. We haven't quite gotten to the grilling out portion of the day, so figured I'd take about 20 minutes or so to go over the latest off-season NBA 2K23 roster collaboration that both myself and TicoisTocory has going. So as everybody probably knows by now, we've been working quite a bit to get to the latest and greatest stuff for the off-season, including the rookies and a bunch of other stuff. So I wanted to dive right into it. This is where you'll go to find the roster. You want to go to user-created roster. Go on 2K Share. You'll see it here. It says PTsports84 plus Tico draft / FA roster. And that is the latest and greatest. What's up, Kerry? Misic is on the Thunder roster. Yes. I'm going to dive into everybody right now. So we have the latest and greatest here. As everybody knows, the NBA added the third two-way spot. Unfortunately, in 2K23, that is not available. So you'll see some kind of discrepancies with that if a player is on a two-way and he's not here. It may be because I couldn't fit him on the roster. They may not have that designation, as you'll see here with Taquavion Smith. He would be on that third two-way along with Council and Tabellis for the 76ers. But because I can't add it, I can't do it. So you'll see stuff like that. Guys like Patrick Beverley who don't have a jersey number assigned yet may be off. You'll see stuff like that. Until the official jersey numbers come in, I can't really do anything about that. But we have the players on the teams, and that's what matters most. Jonathan, I was able to fix the roster. So, yeah, we had a little bit of a hiccup. It was my fault. Nothing with Tico at all. I didn't upload, and I had accidentally did save and share before saving the roster, and therefore glitched out all the names. I was able to find a backup, thank goodness, and then work off of that, get everything back up to par. Everything is how it should be now. So, yeah, wanted to dive into the roster, just kind of show it off. Here, you'll see some unique stuff here. One thing I wanted to note, new to the roster, is the ability to have the actual draft spot for each team. This was pretty cool. I found another user that had done it. Dirty 8 Speech helped me with the G League Ignite players to get their real draft info on there. So shout out to him for that. Like Scoot Henderson, Leonard Miller, Sissy Sissoko is another one. They all have the correct draft from the G League Ignite info. But you'll see here, like drafted round 2, pick 6 for Andre Jackson Jr. You'll see that for the draft picks in there. I updated some appearances and some draft info, like Julian Phillips. I had him a little bit too dark of a complexion, so updated him there. Anarop Batim has not officially signed, but it's rumored that he will be the one of the two-way players signed for the Bulls, so I left that alone. Right now it's not official, but it's coming from what everybody over in Europe has said. Just try to update some depth charts, like Caruso will probably play the 2 and the 3, and stuff like that. So, yeah, Thunder Shack. So what you do is you go to the My NBA portion of things. You want to use your own draft prospects. I just, basically took them and imported them in to a draft class, save that draft class. Once you go through a My NBA season on the modern NBA, when you get to the draft, make sure you're controlling all 30 teams. You can rearrange the draft picks how they were for the actual 2023 draft, and then just draft them into the slots, export them out, and then that way you can import them into your roster, and they'll have the correct draft info from where they were drafted. So I thought that was pretty cool that you could do that. So yeah, you could do that. I'm not sure on current gen, or on the old gen, I guess it is, if you could do that, but I know on PS5 for sure you could do that because I obviously did it myself. So yeah, I had never even thought about that. One of the other user rosters had it, and I was like, how is this possible? And I just kind of played around with some stuff and figured it out. So I thought that was pretty cool to have. So yeah, so all the latest transactions are on here. We've got like Damian Jones traded to the Cavs, Ty Jerome signed, Delano Banton, things like that. So basically, the roster is up to par. For all the teams overall. Like, there's some things that I couldn't fit overall, but I wanted to give a quick shout out to a beat writer for the Memphis Grizzlies, Anthony Sane. That's my guy for years. He hit me up with some updated GG Jackson info. It's actually GG Jackson the second. Gave me some updated shoes and stuff that he wore in the last game. Obviously, David Roddy's got the position or the jersey number changed to 21. But yeah, so one thing I thought about is Brandon Clark's injury, adding that in, and then John Morant's suspension. But I wanted to give everybody the ability to just be able to play, pick up and play, not really worry about that kind of stuff. If I need to do it later, I will. One thing about this roster, like Kenneth Lofton Jr. is on a standard contract, but unable to fit Josh Christopher via the Rockets on the roster, I had to put Lofton to a two-way. So technically that's inaccurate, but that's the only way I could fit it right now. So got Derrick Rose's jersey number updated to 23 as well. For example, like I changed the appearance of some guys like Kobe Buffkin. Can't really make him the greatest, but I tried the best I could making him. So kind of changed his appearance based on more of his recent look than what he had previously. I'll be curious to see what Miami does with the Damian Lillard trade. Right now, I updated their two ways to be accurate. Jaime Jaquez Jr. Looked really good last night in his debut. Got some of the veterans signed there. Obviously, Miles Bridges back on the team. I took off P.J. Washington because he's a restricted free agent, and I'm wondering if somebody gives him an offer sheet tomorrow, I believe it is. No, I think it's actually Thursday is the first day you could sign restricted free agents. I wonder if somebody throws an offer at him to take him away from Charlotte. Brandon Miller struggled early in his debut, but came around later once he got a little bit more comfortable in rhythm. One thing to note, Nick Smith is not really a point guard. I'm going to have to figure out, I guess they're trying to mold him into one, but he didn't look the part of a point guard yesterday. Looked kind of rough distributing the ball. We have, I basically from the last update to this one, I had some players back in like Johnny Juzang on a two-way and stuff like that to fill the rosters out the best I could. Updated some player tendencies for some guys based on what I watched yesterday as far as Summer League goes. Vezenkov added into the roster for Sacramento. Power forward. I moved Trey Lyles to backup center because I think he'll play a lot more small ball center with Vezenkov there because Vezenkov's not really a small forward. He's more of a four. Chris Duarte, the rumored trade from Shams, was from Indiana. I went ahead and added that in. Hopefully that's still reigning true. We'll see. Let's see. Just going through. Lakers updated some positions and stuff like that for them. This is out on 2K Share right now. Uploaded it right before I got on. So anybody that's curious about this that I'm showing off, you can go get it right now. I showed in the beginning of the video where it was. It's under my online ID, PTsports84. And you'll find it. It's the top It's the most downloaded roster. I just overwrite it every time I update it and go from there. I did do a backup this time, so I didn't do it last time. That's how the names got glitched and stuff, but it's updated and ready to go. So updated Maxwell Lewis's skin tone as well. Just trying to think of everything that I touched on here. Looking at Dallas, one thing to note here: Dante Exum is in the roster. He's back in the NBA. Hopefully he can stay healthy and not get injured, because I think Exum could be really good for them and what they want to do as a third guard. We also have, I'm just trying to think of what is updated positions for the Pacers to kind of get them better in line with where they are. Added Malcolm Casalone, who signed the two-way contract. I wasn't sure if he was going to go overseas or not, so I didn't have him on the roster. But he's now on the roster under the designated two-way spot there. Updated Marcus Sasser with his face as well. Monte Morris is on the roster there. I think they trade Killian Hayes coming up, so look for that to probably happen soon. Let's see. Oh, his jump shot was in 2K23 but offline. I'll have to look for that. I didn't even pay attention that Exum's shot was in there. Yeah, I'll look for that and update it for the next one. We've got the Rockets are all set. Keep in mind, please bear with me as far as the contracts go. That's the only thing not updated in the roster is the contracts. This is more of a quick play roster. I know people want to use this roster and take it into a franchise. I know you do. I'm just not good at contracts, so it's going to take me a little while to get in there. I have to fix all the players that played last year, bump them up a year, as well as fix the rookie contracts in. It's just going to be a little while. My main focus is getting everybody on the rosters, getting the tendencies correct, and all that kind of stuff. So updated the position for Tari Eason, as I think he'll be right there behind Dylan Brooks for playing time. Swapped him and Jayshawn Tate there. Going over to the Spurs, Wembanyama, I've updated him a little bit facial feature-wise, and then some tendencies as well. Here's what I was talking about with City Sissoko. For example, NBA G League Ignite, you can see there on the draft card, along with drafted there. Like I said, shout out to Dirty Speech for that. We have the Phoenix Suns right now. They have too many players, so I had to leave Kamara as a two-way, even though he signed an official contract. Oklahoma City is one of those teams where they have way too many players signed. I had to make a decision on what players I wanted to add and what I didn't want to add. If you don't see, obviously you don't see Trey Mann, Oladipo specifically on here. I had to make a decision to make room. There's Vasily Micic on the roster now officially. With Wembanyama, he's 7'3.5". I don't know if that's without shoes or with shoes. I couldn't tell by what the Spurs put officially, so I just left it at 7'4", 230 for him. May bump him to 7'5" if that is in fact true, 7'3.5", bare feet. I'm not sure, to be honest. Same thing, like I said, with Leonard Miller. There's a G League Ignite for them. And then Scoot Henderson updated his face a little bit as well. Got the G League Ignite there. Podashemski updated his face just a little bit as well to be a little bit more accurate to what he had at signing day. Same thing with Coulibaly. I have Coulibaly at small forward. I don't know. They want to play him at guard. I just don't know what they're going to do here. If they keep DeLon Wright, then I don't know really where Coulibaly's spot's going to be. I think Johnny Davis could potentially be a 2 or a 3. Landry Shamet, I don't think is on this roster come opening day, or opening night, I should say. Then Koulibaly would slide down, essentially. We'll see what happens there. Still got all the historic rosters the same. Haven't really touched those just because I haven't had a chance to work on any of that stuff any further, but they are in there. Free agent pool, got all the free agents in there. You'll see some teams that have guys signed to contracts. Like I said, Oladipo is one. I'm trying to think. Coffee's another for the Clippers. Like, just guys like that can't fit on the roster. There's just too many guys, not enough spots. You'll see some players in the deleted player pool, like legends and stuff like that. Another thing I did is I took the G League rosters and made them the Summer League rosters. All the guys that I already had on the roster, I went ahead and put on the G League teams for the Summer League roster. So if you really wanted to make your own Summer League roster, you could take guys off of teams, move these guys over, and then, overwrite the roster, stuff like that. So I try to get the main guys that are part of the roster. Like Guy Santos is a key contributor for Golden State's roster. Got some draft picks that could potentially vie for two ways, like Adam Flagler. There's Dominic Barlow who did really well yesterday. Got Bediako on the roster now. Added a bunch of guys in the roster from last time, so these don't look anything like the same as they were previously. I added back in Miles Powell, RJ Nembhard, Moses Wright. A lot of those guys I had deleted because they were overseas this past year, but now that they're on the Summer League roster, I got those in. Obviously, these aren't filled out. That wasn't my goal. Got some draft picks from 2022 that are going to play Summer League as well. As you can see as I go through these, Mojave King is going to play overseas this year, but because he's on the Summer League roster, I put him on there. Like I said, good bit of players here. Really try to put a effort. Just so happened that the Magic have a ton of guys that I already had in the roster. I added Kai Soto into the roster, but everybody else was already in the roster. So you'll see that. Added Jalen Harris. Was trying to make an NBA comeback after being suspended a year with drug policy discrepancies. So not a lot there for Salt Lake because didn't really have a lot of guys there. Like I said, just try to go through and touch up the roster wherever I could. Just make some decent changes. Hopefully next year we can use the G League teams in quick play. That would be smart of 2K to do. Hopefully they add the new G League teams for Portland. Phoenix, hopefully you'll get one. And then we'll have the G League Ignite playable maybe. That would be pretty cool. I got Luke Travers here for Cleveland, as well as Khalifa Diop. So just tried to fill out the teams the best I could. I took off Jabari Parker as he's not on the Summer League roster anymore. Got all the other guys that are. Philip Petrusev looks to be coming over the NBA this year, but I put him on the G League team right now. Let's see what he does and go from there. So the last thing real quick, wrapping it up, TicoisTocory is going to have another video out just highlighting a lot more major stuff. He's more animated than I am, does a lot more graphic stuff and all that. I just get to the heart of the rosters and go from there. But last thing real quick, I touched up some of the coaching staffs as well. I got Bobby Jackson added in. I kept Nate Bjorken for the Sixers, as I think he ends up being their lead assistant. He hasn't signed on yet, but I think that's what ends up happening for the most part. Overall, I fixed the teams the best I could. There are limitations, as I didn't have enough spots to add all the guys I wanted to the rosters, but even got the latest one right before I jumped on. Alex Jensen to the Dallas Mavericks. They really needed another key assistant. He was assistant in Utah previous, so got that updated. Also updated the Rockets the best I could with the coaches that were available already. Raptors, same thing. Got them updated as well. So this roster's ready to play. I hope everybody enjoys the roster. Really, Tico and I put our heart and soul into this roster, really went above and beyond to get everything correct. Tico's going to have more of the ATD updates, like shoes and accessories and stuff like that. I believe he's going to go off of Summer League with some of the stuff for the rookies and things like that, as far as shoes and accessories go. But hope everybody enjoys this roster, like I said. Once we get like the big name trades like Dame and Harden, stuff like that, obviously I'll have an immediate update out as fast as possible. Still waiting on guys like Kelly Oubre Jr., Ayu Dosunmu, Matisse Thybulle, Christian Wood, like those kind of guys, Grant Williams, PJ Washington, those guys to sign. Those are the major names that are left. Outside of that, it's just really lower end rotation guys. And then that's pretty much it, unless we get massive trades. But shout out to everybody that's downloaded this roster, or that's checking out this video now. I really appreciate it. Please hit that thumbs up button. If you can, let everybody know about the roster for PlayStation 5. Like I said, enjoy the roster. Play as much as you can. Enjoy 2K23 until 2K24 comes out. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Make sure you're subscribed to TicoisTocory as well on YouTube, as he'll have a lot of the same content and more available. Thanks, everybody, for watching on this July 4th holiday. Hope everybody enjoys the rest of the holiday. Spend some time with your family, but also get some gaming time in. Thanks, everybody, and I'll talk to you soon.